Absolutely no doubt but that this country has seen a veritable revolution in the availability of fine food over the past couple of decades. And a large part of that revolution has been played, so to speak, by artisan producers who are dotted around the country. People who are operating farmhouse or cottage enterprises, producing all sorts of things which previously we had to bring in from France or the rest of Europe or wherever. Things like wonderful cheeses, processed meats and so on. Well, our Geraldine Harney has been up to County Wicklow to meet an artisan producer, you might say, whose idea of culinary heaven is to produce a whole range of chutneys, relishes and sauces.
Meet Janet Drew, the very talented lady behind a range of chutneys, relishes and sauces that trade under the label Janet's Country Fayre.
I started about 12 years ago. I don't really know why I decided to make chutney of all things, but I moved down to Westmeath and I had a little gate lodge at Ballinlough Castle, which is Ballinlough Castle Gardens and the concerts and where a lot of people know. And from there, that's where I started off, and we used to run the tea rooms, so it was in a very small way. And then within the last couple of years, I moved up to Wicklow. I'm living at my brother's in Kilmechanic, and we purchased the premises here, and I decided this was it. We're going to go the whole hog and get a really good kitchen and push the products more substantially and develop the range. I've grown substantially, particularly over more recent years, and I would have product on sale really throughout the 32 counties now. I think finally now Irish people are beginning to understand and enjoy more chutney and use it in many more ways than the traditionally associated just for cheese. And I suppose that's a lot to do with travel and whatever, but people have become a lot more adventurous in their taste. So, okay, the sweet pepper relish is a very simple recipe, but the likes of the new fig and apricot chutney, that's a much richer one. But people, yes, I think it's because people have become a lot more adventurous. And there's also, chutney is very good with ready-made meals. A lot of people are dependent on ready-made meals now, and a bit of chutney with them, it actually complements them very, very well indeed. And then now the salad dressings, I'd be one of the few small producers who are making salad dressings, and there's a lot of scope for those as well. People like, because they're very simple ingredients, there are no stabilisers. You look at your average salad dressing from one of the bigger producers along the supermarket shelves, and there's that much space is taken up with how many stabilisers and xanthan gum and all these sort of things. There's no need to, and people understand now as well that, you know, if my ingredients sink to the bottom, you just shake the bottle and it all re-emulsifies itself.
But getting all the product ready is not easy, and despite the fabulous state-of-the-art kitchen, there's a lot of sheer hard work for Janet and her assistant Lisa.
It's a long, busy day, and Lisa takes the brunt of most of it now, because sometimes I'd be out on the road or in the office. But even the pots themselves, they weigh heavily. Everything weighs, even you know, the full boxes of chutney, and lugging them into the lift and out. And yeah, so there is a fair bit, but we wear good work clogs. We all, you know, so good shoes is essential in the kitchen. And I'm afraid my hands have seen many years of hard work. I'm not great at wearing gloves unless we're doing the likes of the beetroot. But yes, it is. I think anybody in food businesses, it is physical hard work as well. And then you're loading the van, or pallets of this coming and pallets of that going out again. So yeah, it is. But it's very rewarding, I think.
And what about being a woman in business?
Being a woman in business, I don't think is any different to being a man in business nowadays. I have certain limitations that I'm well aware of. So I have a very good accountant and I have a good support team who work with me in the areas that I would be weak in. So it was something my father always taught me, that you know what you're good at, and then compensate by finding other people who support you in business in that way.
Now, even though Janet's Country Fayre is a relatively young company, it has won plenty of accolades.
Well, we were fortunate. In 2006, the Board Bia organised a very big Buyers' Day in the Royal Hospital Kilmainham, and we all had stands at it. And they encouraged us to participate in the Great Taste Awards. I'd never done so previously. So I entered 8 products, and much to my surprise, I came away with 5 gold and 1 silver. And I had a lot of publicity as a result of that. And we're hoping again now this year we might enter a few more products.
Janet has come a very long way with her company. So where would she like to bring it from here?
5-10 years, I'd like to have a much bigger range. I would hope to have some more export. I've had a little taste of export. And probably diversify into some other areas within, not just solely chutney, but within, maybe marinades, that sort of. But again, building up a big range of products that again are still the core, being the core ethos of good quality ingredients and keeping it simple. But yes, I'd like to think that the business would have been 5 times the size it is now in another 5 or 10 years.
Yummy stuff.